EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Acrisure Stadium on the north shore of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A kicker, Chris Boswell, has it ready to go, and we are underway from Pittsburgh. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Play action. It's Darnold. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
And they'll run. It's Ken Walker. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But defensively, you really can't script the start much better. You get a 3 and out and a sack.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. They kept him short of a first down on 1st and 2nd down. And then on 3rd down, they pick up a sack. What tremendous momentum for them to start this game.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Rudolph. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's 3rd and 4. From the 50, it's Rudolph. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chains, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Heck of a start for him here, Charles, on this opening drive, and they're doing it all through the air. That's 4 snaps and 4 passes so far.
And I do think that there's an argument, Brandon, to maybe mix in a running play or two, but the way that these offenses are constructed, you can get that done with swing passes and checkdowns. The way they're throwing it, I'd keep pressing it downfield.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
From the 29, here's a 2nd and 7. They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Back to throw, Rudolph. Looking for the end zone. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A great play there. 29 yards. And the Steelers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Up the middle, here's Walker. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Here's Darnold. Throw out wide to Walker. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. Darnold. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. Certainly not what they wanted there. No gain, and it's 4th down.
That goes in the category of a play that the defense is going to cherish and excites them. On completion, yes, you give up the pass, but no gain. I mean, that's exactly what you want on defense.
And sets up the 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time, let's keep doing it until they stop us? Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive. Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
Rudolph now to throw. A short one there to Freiermuth. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
They went to their big body tight end on 2nd down in hopes that he could plow his way to a first down, but they were ready for him defensively and ended up holding him to a modest gain.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got his man, it's Warren. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long, because the offense is just hoping to somehow They can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. A play fake, and it's Darnold. He completes this to Walker, and they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. So the completion good for just 3, and it's 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Darnold from the gun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
Darnold now to throw. Going up top for Kupp. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen 1 touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now 2nd and 5. Rudolph looking to throw it. A short one there to Freiermuth. And Freiermuth going to have a Steelers first down as he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle, Johnson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on second down. Again, it's Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
Now it's Rudolph. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Rudolph looking to throw.
Complete to Austin here over the middle.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Catch is made by Metcalf. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Here's Rudolph.
Slant route, and he's got Freiermuth.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
From the 6 now on 2nd and 3.
Running from the gun, Johnson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
And out now come the Seahawks. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Now Darnold. And Walker has it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up second down. Running right, here's Walker. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Here's Darnold.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Off of play action, Darnold.
Going right back to Fant.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down.
And this may be the one to build on right here. It's the second quarter. They've got nothing on the scoreboard as of yet. They need to put something together, and this is a good start as they get the completion there for good yardage and a first down.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 8.
Back to throw, Darnold.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 23. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown.
Cooper Kupp.
23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Seahawks have cut it back within a score.
And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. This is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Up past the 30, second down coming up.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Here's Johnson again on second down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Here's Rudolph. That is caught. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
Now Rudolph.
And that nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it, and it'll be second down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Second and 10.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph.
Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf.
And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other.
Now a 3rd and 6.
Again, it's Rudolph.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Rudolph now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense.
And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Darnold.
He'll get this complete to the tight end Barner.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The offense on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They run again with Walker. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Now it's Darnold.
Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba.
They'll wind up getting just a yard. 3rd and 7 now. Here's Darnold. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Rudolph.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Back to throw, Rudolph.
That's DK Metcalf running the slant. He's got it.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. Rudolph looking to throw it.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, they may try and work their way into field goal range and try to tie up this ball game.
Darnold now to throw. This is Fant on the short completion. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field.
And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. To throw is Darnold. The throw taken in by Sims. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold.
Throw out wide to Walker.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Again, Darnold. Repeat of the last play, finding Walker. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Now Austin. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the 2nd half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. A give up the middle to Johnson. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Well, give them credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stuff the run and then executed.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson.
And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Now it's Rudolph. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Big DeMarcus Lawrence getting in there and bringing him to the ground.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Now Darnold. And Walker has it. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. The firing in that time, it was Nick Herbig. Credit him with a sack. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and out will come the offense as they take over. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Here's Rudolph.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Play action. It's Rudolph. And that is incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Here's Cameron Johnston now. He's been terrific so far. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return.
Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense.
Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold.
A pass complete downfield. It's Valdez-Scantling. Still going inside the 20.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. 72 yards.
And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down. Now Rudolph.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Rudolph. That is caught. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the 1st down of the process.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience, I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Play action. It's Darnold. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35.
It's a big play there for Seattle. 49 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
41 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another first down run right there.
Faking the give, Darnold. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Here's Darnold. And he comes back with one complete. He's brought down after a pickup of 5, but he needed 8. 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
They'll run for it. It's Walker.
And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
2nd and 7.
Rudolph now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Rudolph.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. Now he's loose at the 40. Inside the 20. DK Metcalf.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
DK Metcalf.
95 yards.
And the Steelers have retaken a 3rd quarter lead.
So from back deep in their own territory all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance because the normal call is Take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. Boswell now to kick it away. And good starts went all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Off of play action, Darnold. Finding Smith and Jigba downfield. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. A play fake, and it's Darnold. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Keanu Benton, the one who got in to bury him.
Well, partner, I would say just avoid play action, but that's not just been the problem. This defense, they've been getting pressure on all types of pass plays and really piling up the sacks in this contest.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long.
Out of the gun, Walker with it.
Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Darnold.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
He'll start with a handoff to Johnson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Back to throw, Rudolph. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a handoff, Johnson.
And this is going to be a Steelers first down as the tackle made here at the 36.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd down and 9.
Rudolph looking to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Rudolph looking to throw it.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
And in an afternoon where just about everything's gone right, there's an unlikely sight there. He's got a receiver all alone downfield, and he just overshoots him.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Here's Walker to start the drive.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
Short completion, just 4 yards. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Darnold from the gun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I love it. He ran a hitch route on 3rd and 6, and normally that's not deep enough to get your first down. I'd say he really ran a hitch plus to make sure he got the first down yardage. Really intelligent route running.
Yeah, because what do you say? Hitches are normally 1 to 3?
Yeah, somewhere in the neighborhood. You just kind of come off the line of scrimmage and kind of show yourself to the quarterback and say, hey, here I am, present it. He went in and took it far enough downfield to make sure that they had enough yardage to pick up the first down.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Here's 3rd and 6.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty.
They're going right back to Walker. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
That's big Cameron Hayward adding another sack to his career total. It looked like they were trying to get him outside there, but this defense had different plans.
Yeah, they really had an outside-in kind of a pass rush. It's almost like when you're covering a punt. You can't let him get to the outside and get to the sideline. You force him to stay in the middle of the field, and they did exactly that and made the play.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now, 1st and 10 at their own 16.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete. Trying to find Calvin Austin,
but it'll be 2nd down.
Now run straight ahead with Warren.
And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Here is 3rd and 5.
Now it's Rudolph.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Give Uchenna Nwosu the credit for the stuff.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Shotgun snap for Rudolph.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get 1st downs and eat away at the clock.
And now another one thrown incomplete. critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
To throw is Darnold.
He completes this to Walker.
And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling.
And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. Now it's Darnold. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I've got a good friend in football who always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
Darnold to throw.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Here's Darnold.
And that is incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position.
We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Rudolph now to throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a one-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
Boswell's kick is good, and they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
So Sam Darnold in the offense. Down 20-14. Less than 90 seconds to go. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now Darnold.
And Walker has it. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. This is where, of course, it's good to have a veteran quarterback under center.
You would just be able to put on one of those blood pressure clips, and nothing would be different for him. He's done it many times before, expects to get it accomplished again.
Just the one timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. He has been terrific today, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Running flawless 2-minute drill right here. This has been quarterbacking 101 with a flourish.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Darnold.
He finds his man, complete. That's Walker. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go.
Here's 1st down.
Now Darnold. That is taken in by the tight end Fan. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
No timeouts left. Of course, the defense knows that too. Here's 1st and 10.
And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Boy, this crowd is on pins and needles now because anytime you see the ball heading for the end zone, you really hold your breath and they come out of their seats. That one falls incomplete.
Another try from the 14 on 2nd and 10.
Darnold now to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. And a great game comes down to this. Time for one play, and they've got to get it in the end zone.
And I want every cover guy I've got in the game on defense, every extra defensive back who can make a play on the football. So whether it's nickel, dime, quarter, whatever you want to call it, I want 5, 6, 7 guys back there.
One last throw now for Darnold. And this is caught. Touchdown. And now they're an extra point away from winning this thing in the final seconds.
Well, that's the one they had to have. Put them in a position where they're tied up, but I got to get out of the way. We still got an extra point that's pretty crucial.
That's right. Just one more element to complete the victory. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Now Myers for the extra point. And that might be enough to win them the football game as they now take the lead in the final seconds of this ball game. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
This is 1st and 10.
One last throw here for Rudolph. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is down deep into Seattle territory.
That was a long shot, but they did get one final chance to try to score and overcome this small deficit. No touchdown, though, Charles. And that brings this one to a close.
Yeah, I think Hope was wearing one jersey and Worry was wearing another on the other sideline as that final snap played out. Now, we've seen some incredible plays to win games before, but in this case, I think the distance was just a little bit too great for it to happen here.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And with that, we say so long from Pittsburgh.